Hey you guys, it's Peter, and I'm back. Of course I'm back. I'm not going anywhere. Peace! Peekaboo, I see you because I'm YouTube famous now. Available, not before James Charles album. The album, Dad, Shimmy Shimmy, AF. A little rock star, get my rock star neck going on. Players only love you when they're playing. Beast! Actually, a little true story for you. My album was released long before James Charles. No, true story. Well, it's true story. But for this story, I need a little lip gloss to get ready today. I have to tell you, this lighting out here, this winter lighting with very little tan is not doing Peter Monn any favors, okay? I just filmed a Peterisms video, and I was like rendering it on my computer, and I was looking back at it, and I was like, you literally look like living death sitting out there, okay? Oh my God, what is going on with you? I did my skincare routine and everything this morning, and I still look so bad. I was like, what is going on? Well, nothing that a little lip gloss can't fix. I guess I need some sun and a little lip gloss, don't you think? And a Diet Coke. But anyway, so, true story. When I was growing up, okay, I had this babysitter. Her name was Edie Mae. I've shared this story in my vlog before, but her name was Edie Mae. And this was the summer that my mom was getting her master's degree in education. So Edie Mae was my babysitter like 5 days a week, okay? Well, Edie Mae was in the top choir at Carmel High School, which was the Ambassadors. It was the show choir, okay? Imagine Glee. That kind of stuff, okay? She was in the show choir, and I loved her. And we would do, like, routines, and she would tell me, like, the songs they were learning and stuff. And so, you know, little gay Peter, that was, like, I don't know how old I would have been at that point, okay? But I think I was going to, I can't remember how old I was. But anyway, little gay Peter, you know, me and Edie Mae, we would be, like, doing the routines. I love this babysitter so much. She was so sweet. And my mom sometimes would leave money, and we would ride our bikes down to McDonald's. We get Happy Meals and everything and stuff like that. I love Edie Mae. She was the best babysitter in the entire world. Even years later, like I was in my 30s, my mom would be like, I wonder what happened to Edie Mae. And I'd be like, I don't know, Mom. God, I loved Edie Mae. She was so fantastic. She had a family of like 15. I think they were like the Von Trapp family singers, because like 6 of them were in the Ambassadors, okay? So when I went to high school, okay, there were 3 choirs. Did y'all have the 3 choirs in high school? Okay. There were the descants. They couldn't sing, okay? That's where most of my friends were. Most of my friends were in the descants, okay? They couldn't sing to save their lives, okay? And their like routines were kind of like this and stuff like that, right? Then there were the accents. The accent was like the second choir up, okay? And the accents were like people that could like carry a tune, but they couldn't like really move on stage and do all this kind of stuff. The Ambassadors were the people that, if anybody from my high school is watching this, they're like dying right now, okay? The Ambassadors were like the people that were going to go to Broadway, or at least they thought they did, okay? Which is so funny because I actually did. My mom was real good friends with her mom, too. I actually did go to elementary, junior high, and high school with this girl, and her name was Sarah, and she was on Broadway. No, she was on Broadway. And she was in Broadway. I don't know if how much of this I should say, because then my haters will look these people. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. She was in the Broadway version of Marilyn. She played the younger Marilyn Monroe on Broadway. Oh my God, she was. And then she came back and she would wear this jacket. It was like a leather jacket, but it said like Marilyn on the back of it and had a picture of Marilyn. That was like in 6th grade. So she must have done that like in 4th and 5th grade. And then she came back for 6th grade. And then she was gone again doing some other Broadway play and stuff like that. I just saw on the Facebook the other day that somebody posted that she's in a musical version of Beetlejuice now. Can you even imagine? Oh my God. But I don't even think she was in the Ambassador. She could just sing a tune from way on. But I can remember this one girl. She was like a year older than me. And everybody, like, she'd always get like all the solos for the Ambassadors. And she'd get like all the main parts. You know, it's like that Glee, that show. I watched that, okay? I watched that. My friends, Melissa and Jason, the 3 of us, we would talk about it all the time. We wanted to be Gleeks of the week and all that kind of stuff. But that's really how it all went down. If you ever watch Glee, you know that's true show choir all the way, okay? Because I had enough friends of mine that were in choir and things like that. But anyway, there was that one girl, okay? So the girl at our high school that would have been like Rachel, you know, in Glee, the one that got all the parts and stuff like that, everybody was like, oh my gosh, she's going to go into Broadway, she's going to go to... True story, like 6 months ago, I was thinking about that girl. Because, like, 3 of these guys that were in the ambassadors, that were doing all this kind of stuff, we're straight, we're straight, we're straight, we're straight, we're straight, we're straight. All that kind of stuff. Like, 3 of them later would come up to me in gay bars, and they'd be like, oh my God, thank you so much for being out in high school. You made the road so much easier for us. When they were all friends in high school, excluding me, okay, making fun of me because I was gay and all that kind of stuff. But I wasn't even out. I had a girlfriend in high school. She's a lesbian today, and she has been with her partner for, I don't know, 32 years or something like that. But listen, I wasn't out in high school. They all thought I was, but I wasn't. And none of them would be friends with me. None of them gay guys were friends. They were all too busy having sleepovers and doing face masks and things like that, acting like they were straight, okay? But like 3 out of these 4 guys came up to me, true story, after high school, saw them at a gay bar, like when we were all in college and stuff like that, and each of them came up to me and they were like, I mean, not like in a row, but like at different times. And they were like, oh my God, thank you so much for being out in high school. I'm like, I wasn't out in high school. They were so surprised. They were like, you weren't out in high school. We thought you were out and proud. And I was like, no, I wasn't. Everybody called me out for being gay, but no, I wasn't out in high school. But I know, I've got to, I don't know how you hide. So anyway, I've never been good at hide and seek. But anyway, no, true story, I haven't been though. I'm always like the one that like stands behind the tree and then they're like, okay, we got you right away. That's kind of mean. That's kind of how my whole life has been. Hide and seek, standing behind the tree. Because I ain't trying to hide from nobody. I really am, But anyway, I like these 4 guys, like I was always kind of like, then they've been friends all since then. I see they go to Hawaii and whatever. I'm real nice to them. They're nice guys. They really are nice guys. But they excluded me from high school because to be my friend would have outed them as being gay. And they were straight. They were in show choir, see, and they were straight. I wasn't in show choir, okay? I was listening to the Smiths smoking clove cigarettes, driving around with my badass girlfriends, okay? But they were straight. They were straight in show choir doing all this kind of stuff, right? But this one girl, she was the Rachel, And so she was going to go on and do Broadway and do movies and all this kind of stuff. These are the people that were really into big musical theater. Now, today, I probably would love musical theater if any of one of those guys would have wanted to be my friends in high school, but not one of them wanted to be, okay? So I didn't get to be, I didn't even think I had anything to talk about in the intro today, but we're talking about James Charles coming out with a song, so I guess we'll talk about Peter Monn singing for a little bit. So anyway, so I don't like musical theater. It bore my ass, okay? So anyway, so it bore a snake and it bore my ass. So I don't like musical theater, but probably because I have some deep-seated resentment about those 4 guys that ever wanted to be my friends. They were probably doing each other up in their sleepovers, doing face masks and stuff. Now, true story, they were probably doing each other in high school. I wasn't doing nobody. I was dating a lesbian that wasn't even out yet. You know what I mean? And they were so thankful that I was out in high school to keep their secret for them as they were straight and show choir and all that kind of stuff. Listen, okay, so anyway, I'm not going to go there, okay, with what I think about show choir today. But anyway, so this one girl, she was going to go on to be famous. She got all the parts and all this kind of stuff, everything like that. So I went, true story, like 6 months ago, and I was like, oh, one of them had posted a trip, because these 4 guys, they still get together, like, every, like, year, and they go on some big trip and all this kind of stuff. See, I could have been part of that. Like, they never wanted to be my friend, right? So anyway, I go and I look, well, this girl is on that trip with them, and I'm like, oh my God, what is she doing? Is she on Broadway? I haven't heard her movie. She ain't next to Meryl Streep or Jessica Lange and things like that. And I'm like, is she in movies these days? What she's doing? And she's like, and God bless her, because I love teachers, okay? Teachers have the most thankless jobs and our most underpaid profession. That is the most important profession besides parenting in our world, okay? But she's like a 5th grade music teacher or something like that in Nowhere, Ohio. And I was like, hey girl, we thought you were going to Broadway. And y'all didn't want to be my friend. And look at me, I'm sitting here making fucking YouTube videos talking about James Charles. Who won? I think I did. But anyway, so true story, my babysitter, Edie Mae, we'll get back to that, right? So we would sing and stuff, and she was like, Peter, you have such a good singing voice, okay? I joke about my singing, but listen, true story, I can sing a tune, okay? And so she was like, my mom's claim to fame, okay? It wasn't about getting her master's degree. My mom's claim to fame wasn't about getting sober, having me. You think that would be enough of a claim to fame. None of those kinds of things. My mom's claim to fame was that when she went to Indiana University in Bloomington, she was one of the 100 singing Hoosiers, okay, which she would tell me often was very, very difficult. It was a choir at IU. I think it still exists, and they're the singing Hoosiers, and it's really hard. You have to audition, all this kind of stuff. My mom could sing. So anyway, So Edie Mae and I, we would like sing these songs and stuff, and she would be like, "Oh, Peter," she was like, like the music teacher, this woman that was like her vocal coach and all this kind of stuff, who ended up being the choir teacher or whatever. I was in choir for a while, like in junior high and stuff like that. She's doing this children's album, and you should be on this children's album. And I was like, oh my God, I wish I could find what this children's album was called, you know? So anyway, she was like, you should be on this children's album. So I came over and I had to audition for it and everything, and I was like, on this children's album. I remember we all sat in her living room while she recorded it, and we did this song. We got the songs that me and Edie Mae, we would like practice the song before we went over there and all this kind of stuff. So no, true story, I was on an album, okay, like 40 years ago. James Charles can get fucked. I mean, he wish he could, but he can't. Okay, that's why nobody called him back, and he had to make a video about it, because nobody calls him back. Nobody hits him up in his DMs anymore either, which is why James Charles had to post on his Instagram months ago, or this is not months ago, this is, hold on a second, how long ago was this? About a month ago. He put this up on his Instagram. Ethan Klein from H3 Podcast put it up on his too. So don't say I'm the only one calling James Charles out. Ethan Klein put it up too. And it says, "Hi! Remember when I posted looking for people in LA that have been supporting me for a long time? Can y'all please slide in again?" Slide in what? Okay? Because that's smelly and dirty. Are you talking about your DMs, girl? Is that what you're talking about? Sliding into your DMs? I thought you were done with that, James. I thought you were done with people sliding into your DMs. Remember, you came out and said that, okay? So, I was going to get on here today, and I was going to talk about the fact that last night I did not watch a Harlan Coben TV show. Are you proud of me? Last night I watched, I caught up on La Brea, because this is the last season of La Brea. I know, I'm devastated. If you don't know what La Brea is about, La Brea is about, oh my God, there's a male person, hey! And La Brea is about how this sinkhole opens in Los Angeles, and all these people drop to 10,000 BC. Hey, how are you? And all these people drop down to 10,000 BC, and then they're living with the dinosaurs and the T-Rexes and things like that. Okay, it's real good. Kinda. It's cheesy. It's cheesy down. But now I've watched 2 seasons, and next week is the finale of the series, so I have to find out. Part 1 was called Way Back Home Part 1, so next week is Way Back Home. So I wonder, do they get home? I think part of them are going to stay, and part of them are going to go home, is really what I think is going to happen. But anyway, and then I started watching this series called Behind Her Eyes. I read the book, like, years ago, and I loved the book. So I was like, I'm going to start watching the show. Who is talking on the street? No, we don't need to be having talk time, okay? Not while Peter's filming a video. I hardly ever film out here anymore. This is what is so wrong with the world. Like, I try to film see, I almost said the F's, okay? I try to film a video on my front porch, because I haven't been able to film out here in forever, because it's been so damn cold. And then people are talking on the street and things like that. The mailman's going by. Just hit it, okay? It's time to film. Oh, there's the person that was talking. Hey! So yeah, so anyway, she must have been the one that was talking to the male person or whatever, and she's gave me the evil eye, probably because she was like, Peter's trying to come. This is where the real serious people are like, Peter's talking so mean to his neighbors. My neighbor is across the street. She's gardening right now. I need to ask her about when we're going to do up these hostas and things. But anyway, so I watched this Behind Her Eyes last night. NPR said that if you make it to the very last, well, they didn't say if you make it. They said wait till the very last episode and you'll wish you could watch it all over again. I'm 2 episodes in out of 6, and it is a bore-ass, okay? It is so boring. It bore a snake to sleep. So anyway, so I watched that last night, and then I went to bed. I got a good night's sleep and things like that. And I wasn't going to make no videos today. No, true story, I wasn't going to make no videos because last night, I started the new Reese's Book Club. Now, I know this is kind of hard to follow, and people have made fun of me, but I don't know why people make fun of me for the stupidest stuff sometimes. I don't really get it, okay? So, I have a book club called Peter's Book Club. I also have a book club called True Crime Book Club, right? It all originated with this book right here, which is so funny because my neighbor on the corner, not my neighbor across the street, she's the gardener, her husband's the griller. My neighbor on the corner, she's the one I go to the pool with a lot, right? And her friend goes to the pool too, and she's telling me about how she loves true crime. So this summer, I lent her this book. This is my favorite true crime book of life, okay? I'll Be Gone in the Dark, One Woman's Obsessive Search for the Golden State Killer by Michelle McNamara. I love this book so much. One Woman's Obsessive Search for the Golden State Killer. I've said it so many times, I know it by heart, right? But I love this book so much, okay? So my neighbor, she brought it over to me today, and we were talking about, like, shows we're watching, and she's going to watch the halftime at the Super Bowl and things like that. That's what you got to ask people. I could give a rat's ass about the Super Bowl, except for that Reba McEntire is going to probably sing Fancy, and Cascade is DJing at the Super Bowl. Did you know that? Okay. So anyway, but interesting fact about the Golden State Killer, if you didn't know, the Golden State Killer hasn't spoken since he was caught. I suggest the same thing to James Charles. James Charles, you shouldn't have said a word since you got caught, okay? But you have, and it's apparently faring well for you. So anyway, so that's what I did last night, okay? And then I started getting tagged in this stuff, and people were sending me DMs. James Charles came out with a song and all this kind of stuff. I was like, I really could care less, okay? Is drama so dead that I gotta make an hour-long video about James Charles coming out with some stupid song about Call Me Back or Call Me Maybe or whatever? Is he the new Carly Rae Jepsen? Okay, so first of all, I go over to James Charles. So I want to give a little history lesson before I even get into this video, okay? At 14 minutes and 15 minutes right here, okay? That's my intro, okay? So before I even get into this, I want to give a little history lesson because what was interesting to me was James Charles had posted some things on Instagram, right? And I noticed when he posted on Instagram, hold on a second, let me see where it's at. James Charles posted, so he has this thing where he's singing with the vocal coach, Cheryl Porter. We're going to talk about that in just a second, okay? But he does this other one where he's announcing it. And I go to read the comments, and the first comment is, there's lyrics in the song that are called Been Through a Lot, code for was a little creepy, okay, is what this person says. Now, I have to tell you, I think James Charles is deleting comments like crazy because there are not that many negative comments on any of these posts, right? And so this person says, was code for a little creepy. And this person goes, what do you mean? And then somebody said, look up any James Charles conflict the last couple of years. And all these people are like so confused about like, what do you mean? What did James Charles do? What are we talking about? Okay. So this is why it is important to continue to talk about Colleen Ballinger, because there will be a whole new audience of people that are 12 to 15 years old, that are the age demographic of Colleen Ballinger and James Charles fandom, that will come up, and they, at the time that they are currently doing the things that they're doing, they're coloring paints in kindergarten, okay? So they're not in that age demographic yet, but before long, they will be in the age demographic that James Charles and Colleen Ballinger look for. So it's important to continue to talk about this, okay? So let's make this very clear. Okay? Several years ago, James Charles was caught having sexually inappropriate conversations with minors, okay? He came out and he made a video called Holding Myself Accountable. This is fact. This is not speculation. This is not an opinion. This is fact, okay? There were at least 2 minors, okay? People speculate that there were 4 to 5, okay? But there were at least 2 minors. He came out in a video called Holding Myself Accountable, and he apologized for his actions to the victims. He said, I am sorry to the victims. The victims he's talking about are the minors that he was having sexually inappropriate conversations with, okay? Now, one of those people has later come out and said that they told James Charles they were a different age. It doesn't really matter. James Charles said later that with a quick search of their social media, he could have found out their appropriate age, and he is the one that is responsible for it. So when anybody wants to come out and say that James Charles is not responsible for it, like this Cosmopolitan article that recently came out this year, James Charles has already said it's nobody's responsibility but mine, that with a quick search of their social media, he would have known what their ages were, okay? He came out and he did that. He then also went on to continue to have very coercive, sexually inappropriate conversations with straight men and tried to make them feel as if they might be bi-curious, bisexual, and he would wanted to have sexual conversations with them as well on multiple occasions, okay? In the mix of this were several fake allegations that came out. Those fake allegations muted the real allegations because the fake allegations were the ones that James Charles used as an excuse to say, there are so many fake allegations that all these people are trying to make this stuff up about me, yada, yada, yada. And drama channels like Deaf Noodles, okay, who he references in his video that he took down so he takes down the Holding Myself Accountable video, okay, which is where he apologizes to the victims of his sexually inappropriate conversations with minors. Let's not forget who the victims are, okay? He takes that video down. He comes out about 6 months later with a video called Open Conversation because that first video did not fare well for James Charles, okay? And in that video, he proclaims that he is a predator. He says it himself. He takes that video down because he realizes what he has done, okay, in that video. So he comes back with the Open Conversation video. He reiterates some of the same things, but says it in a less specific way, okay? And in that video, he basically blames all of it on Deaf Noodles, even though he doesn't say Deaf Noodles' name. He says a drama channel, because at that time, Deaf Noodles was posting every single allegation that would come out about James Charles, and many of them were fake, right? Which is why a lot of us as drama channels were saying, we need to focus on the truth. We need to focus on the ones that there's evidentiary fact, right? Okay, so he used all of those fake allegations as an excuse to say that none of them were real, when we know for a fact that many of them were real, okay? And through the years since that has happened, there have continued to be allegations of James Charles dipping into people's DMs, asking them for age check. That just came out in the last 2 months, that he went into somebody's DM and said age check, okay, or that he's hitting people up, things like that, right? He then comes out in a Cosmopolitan article this year, a highly, highly scripted Cosmopolitan article, okay, and says in there, was it Cosmopolitan or was that I think it was Cosmopolitan, or was it the Vanity Fair article? The Vanity Fair was Andrew Quintana, which was, oh, I guess it's a Cosmopolitan article. I'm almost positive of it. So anyway, where he comes out in this article and he says, please uncancel me, okay? A man that has a $10 million home. He's a man, a grown man, okay? He's not a child anymore. He's a man. A grown man that has a $10 million home in LA. He said it was $10 million, okay? Drives expensive cars, goes all over the world, flies all over the world, okay? Has a thriving YouTube channel, gets at least, 500 to 1 million views every video, thriving Instagram, thriving TikTok, is canceled. That's not cancellation to me. He bought his parents' home. He's traveling around the world, okay? He's not canceled. Canceled would mean that he has no platform, he has no ability to make any money, that he has to go get a job at CVS because he has no skills, okay? He has no whatever. He has nothing, right? Except for the fact that James Charles has a lot of people that continue to support him and endorse him, okay? He has a lot of people that continue to support him and endorse him and act like nothing has ever happened. He has Manny MUA, he has Laura Lee, he has Daniel Prada, who has also supported and endorsed Colleen Ballinger. He's got a lot of people around him, okay? He's got major makeup brands. He's got makeup artists of major celebrities that are supporting him. And yes, he also has Cheryl Porter, okay? So he puts out this song, and I have to say I was very disappointed in this. Cheryl Porter is somebody that I have loved for a very long time. Cheryl Porter is a vocal coach, okay? And if you don't know what Cheryl Porter does these things where she's driving in her car and she has somebody in her car and they like sing a song. She's had like the person that sang the original song from The Greatest Showman. Her name's like Lauren something, I can't remember. She's got like a lot of famous people in there. She also has students of hers. The majority of her students are children. If you go watch her videos, the majority of Cheryl Porter's students are children, okay? Years ago, she did a video with James Charles, all right? She just, again, did another video. James Charles posted it on his Instagram today, okay? Where Cheryl Porter is singing the praises of James Charles because he plays his new song for her, okay? Which is interesting when you watch the video, because if you've ever watched a Cheryl Porter video before, even to the greatest singer, she will correct them and tell them that they need to correct something, okay? She's a fantastic vocal coach. I love this woman, all right? So to say that I was mildly disappointed by this is a huge... I was greatly disappointed, okay? Your main audience is families and children as a vocal coach that is coaching children, and you have a self-proclaimed predator that in your car, that you are doing a video with to promote his song to children, okay? I take huge issue with that, okay? I mean, I take issue with the people that support his brand. I take issue with this. I take issue with a lot of people. I actually put up on Twitter, I said that I wanted to know what people thought about this. Hold on just a second. And one of the first things that somebody said, I put on here, I said, since people are asking me to respond to James' new song, I wanted to know what you guys think. And one of the first things I got, somebody said was, as a mother, I refuse to listen to a child predator. He's banned in our house, okay? So it's interesting to me that that is the take from a mother, right? Now, James Charles has never come out and said, yes, I did these things. This is the therapeutic work that I did. And when people say that that's really none of our business to know what work he's done, the fuck it's not, okay? It is our business to know when he has harmed people with his public platform. He has used his platform, okay, of makeup, of music, of YouTube, of Instagram, of TikTok, on Twitter. He has used those Instagrams to abuse and hurt other people, minors, okay? So when people say that it's none of our business to hear what work he's done, I think it's everybody's business that's going to continue to support him or choose not not to, okay? And that goes for Colleen Ballinger too. There is no reason, he has never come out and said, this is the extensive work that I have done, this is what I've learned about myself, these are the things I've put into place so that I don't do this again, this is what I've learned about why I was doing it at the time. The only answer that he has ever given us is that he was desperate. He was desperate, okay? Well, how many of you have been desperate to have a boyfriend or girlfriend or to have a partner in life but didn't feel the need as an adult to dip into the DMs of minors and have sexually inappropriate conversations? So for me, the desperate response is not a good enough response, okay? So all these years later, James Charles has a thriving career, is putting out a song, okay? Thanking Rolling Stone and Spotify for posting this song, okay? And endorsing him. All these people are endorsing his beauty products and all this kind of stuff. He now has a song that he's come out with. We've got the biggest vocal coach on YouTube, okay, singing his praises when she coaches children, okay, which is such a baffling look when you look at all this. Here's my favorite neighbors. Hey, how are you? It's colder today, I know. That's why I got my fan to warm me up out here. So do I take huge issue with this? Yes, I take huge issue with this. It's extremely problematic. And the fact that these people continue to support him, this is why I have continued to talk about Colleen Ballinger, okay? And why it is so important to talk about Colleen Ballinger. Because if we don't, 2 to 3, 4 years down the road, Colleen Ballinger will be posting that she's going on tour again, and somebody will respond and say, this is creepy. And somebody underneath it will say, what's creepy about Colleen Ballinger? What's creepy about Miranda Sings? And everybody will have forgotten, and everybody will continue to be singing their praises. Why? Because she'll be on the rise again. James Charles is on the rise, and so everybody wants to ride his coattails. So they sell out their integrity, they sell out what really matters to them, they sell out their caring, okay, of human beings and children, for just $1. They sell that out for all of that, okay, for fame. And it's disgusting to me, if you want to know the truth. I think it's absolutely disgusting to me that they care very, very little about it, okay? And I did a video recently, and I talked about Colleen Ballinger, and the video didn't get very much traction, but I came out with this theory on there, right? And I said that I think the reason why Colleen Ballinger never directly addressed anything that she had done on video, okay, wasn't necessarily with the fact that she didn't think that she had done anything wrong, wasn't necessarily the fact that she didn't want to name the victims and address them, wasn't necessarily the fact that she was worried about legal repercussions, because there's no legal repercussions that are going to happen because the victims aren't suing her, Trisha Paytas isn't suing her, or whatever. What she knew was that James Charles had to take down that video, okay? Because when he posted that video was when YouTube demonetized his channel, okay? Shane Dawson's channel was demonetized because the majority of what he was being called out for was on YouTube. Colleen Ballinger, other than some problematic videos that she had already removed, hadn't perpetuated her problematic behavior with talking in group chats to minors on YouTube. She had never talked about it on her channel, she had never addressed it on her channel, and so she had never been demonetized by YouTube. YouTube had never taken any action. People think that she's got some in on at YouTube. I do think that that's probably true, okay? But in a situation like this, I believe that YouTube is dotting their I's and crossing their T's. I think what she was told was, if you don't ever come out and mention it on your channel specifically, and you don't ever come out and address it, like James Charles did, like Shane Dawson did, like all these people did, your channel will never be hurt for it because you never brought it to your channel, okay? It happened offline. She knew that, and that's the reason why she never addressed it on video, because that's her bread and butter, okay? I don't really think it has anything to do with her being fearful, any of that kind of stuff. In fact, I think this is why she got the attorney. I think the attorney who specializes in the sexual inappropriate behavior, okay, of clients, I think that the attorney, that's his specialty, is people that have sexually inappropriate behavior, right? I think the reason that she hired him was for her to maneuver her business ventures. And I think what he did was, I think he maneuvered some conversation between her and YouTube on how to stay safe and how to move forward. I really think that that's what occurred, because he no longer is her attorney. I think his needs were served, right? And so I don't think it had to do with her being fearful about Trisha Paytas, because all of that came out after she had the attorney. I don't think it was her being worried about the victims, because I think she knew the victims were never going to sue her. I think she knew that. I think she knew it would be too lengthy and too costly, and so she knew that they were never going to sue her. So why didn't Colleen Ballinger ever come out and address it publicly on her channel? Because if she did, she knew that she would have to be calling out other people. People would continue to ask questions about the viewing parties of the OnlyFans and on and on and on, and that she would lose more people, and YouTube would have to demonetize her channel, and YouTube would have to take action by actually possibly even removing her channel, okay? And the only way that she has right now as income is her YouTube channel, right? So she never came out and she addressed it. She learned from James Charles. So now you have somebody that has predatory behavior learning from another predator. Well, this is a lesson as old as time. Predators learning from predators, right? So this is a lesson as old as time. And now we know why Colleen Ballinger has never come out and spoke about it, okay? This is going to stop. Hold on just a second. And here we are 3 to 4 years later, okay? And James Charles took down the video, self-proclaiming that he was a predator, came out, rewrote the narrative, an open conversation video, and blamed it all on a drama channel, okay, that was posting fake allegations, and said it's all about that, and there was nothing true, has been in other people's DMs, many other allegations have come out, it's become so, I mean, people are so immune to it at this point, came out in the Cosmopolitan article just this spring, or this summer, and said that he is like a doorman at a bar in his DMs because people still come into his DMs, when he said in that video that he realized that social media apps are not dating apps, okay? Oh, wait a second. Then he comes out on and asks just a year and a half ago for DMs for his soul. He asked for applications for to people to DM him because he believes his soulmate is somewhere out there and that they should DM him, okay? That was at the same time that the interview with the Cosmopolitan article was being interviewed and written, because then that came out later. That was previous to that he came out and said that he was looking for his soulmate to DM him. So he was still looking for life partners in his DMs, the same place where he had hurt minors, okay? And was predatory towards straight men, okay, and trying to be coercive with them. And people don't have an issue with this. And we should just move on from all this and forget that this happened, okay? Then James Charles comes out with a song. And in the lyric video that he put out today, the song lyric video is all, and here I have like just a screenshot from it, is all cell phones, okay? Where the lyrics are written as text messages on cell phones. And nobody thinks that this is kind of like a big fuck you to everybody out there, that James Charles' entire predatory behavior of looking for somebody is, I mean, this is how deep-seated and sick this goes, that and when people say this is a reach, okay, I said stuff about Colleen Ballinger for months and people said it was a reach, and now people are saying it's true, okay? So when I say this about James Charles, okay, listen, James Charles comes out with a video called Call Me Back, okay? That I'm reaching out to you and you never called me back, okay? Which could be the same thing as a DM. Then his entire lyric video is hundreds of cell phones that he's going over, and each cell phone is lyrics. When he's used his cell phone and DMs, typing to people, texting people, being predatory with his cell phone, okay, is the main source of him. And people are singing his praises about this song. I don't give a fuck what this song sounds like, okay? I listen to the song because people ask me to listen to it, okay? Is it good? I don't really give a shit. It's poppy, okay? It's about Call Me Back and whatever. I listen to it. Y'all want me to listen to it? Well, you want me to critique you until you think it's a good song or it's a bad song? Most people that I listen to don't have great voices. I love Bob Dylan. Bob Dylan don't have a great voice, okay? I love Neil Young. Neil Young don't have a great voice. Don't even get me started with Stevie Nicks. She's my favorite artist of life. Do I think that she has the greatest voice in the world? No. Whitney Houston, greatest voice in the world, okay? James Charles, I don't think he's that great of a singer, okay? Wouldn't download that song. In fact, Gabby Hanna, 100 times better singer than James Charles any day of the week, okay? This has been his dream, blah, blah, blah. Girl, follow your dreams, okay? I don't have an issue with James Charles putting out a song. James Charles can put out a book, a song, a movie, a TV show. He can put out whatever the fuck he wants, okay? As long as he wants to take responsibility for the actions of his past and actually address them, all right? But I don't know why you would need to when you've got all these people surrounding you acting like this never happened. And we're going to wonder why 2 to 3 years down the road, okay? The victim stories are forgotten. Nobody cares what Colleen Ballinger's ex-husband had to say about any of this, okay? And all the victims are shunned again and shut up. And everybody is coming out supporting Colleen Ballinger again. And people are asking in my videos, how the hell does she have a platform again? This is how she has a platform again, because people forget what happened, okay? people forget what happened. And then people want to know why I take such an issue with this, right? Peter, why do you take such an issue with the people that support James Charles? If James Charles had nobody supporting him, if James Charles had nobody reviewing his makeup, showing up at his launches, Gigi Gorgeous did a review of his makeup. I mean, all these people, all these famous influencers, all these famous YouTubers, all these people are using his makeup. If none of those people were using his makeup would flop. It would be a failure, okay? If nobody was watching his videos wouldn't be getting any views, okay? He wouldn't be able to continue to have his platform to say to people like he just did a month and a half ago when Ethan Klein posted this on his H3 Instagram. This video, this picture right here, okay? Because it's all a joke for him. Here it is, all a joke for James Charles. This is all a joke, okay? Because he hasn't learned anything from this. And people still excuse it. Hi, remember when I posted looking for people in LA that have been supporting me for a long time? Can y'all please slide in again? Slide into what? He's asking people in LA to slide into his DMs. Well, it's not anybody that he knows because he would have their phone number. So he's asking randoms in LA to slide into his DMs so that he can play coat check boy, okay? And he can venture out and say age check because like he said, on his Logan Paul podcast, he wants to date somebody that looks as close to 18 as possible, okay? And that's always been his goal. James Charles hasn't changed at all. So what do I think about his song? Let me tell you what I think about his song. I don't give a fuck about his song. Fuck his song, okay? I care about what James Charles has done in his past and he's never taken accountability for it. And let me just say this right now, okay? I don't know that my opinion would really change a lot about James Charles, but if James Charles had the ability and the authenticity versus just worrying about saving his career and hopping on his next dream chain and coming out with, oh, my dream of starting makeup or my dream of doing this or it's always been my dream to have a TV show and show people how to fake an apology like he did on Instant Influencer. And, you know, it's always been my dream to come out with this song. It's always been my dream this. Instead of coming up with this new dream, if he would actually come out on video and explain in detail the work that he's done to the people that he's hurt. He came out in one video and apologized to the victims and never said anything else about it again, okay? If he went to go in and address at length what he's done and what he's worked on, I might be a little less hard on him because I would feel like maybe he had done some work to try to improve himself, but his behaviors demonstrate he has done no work whatsoever on himself at all, okay? And so, what do I think of his song? I don't give a fuck about his song. I don't care about his song. I go buy his song. I listen to it because people ask me what I thought. It's whatever. It's poppy. It's exactly what you'd expect from James Charles, okay? Woo, woo, woo. It's whatever, okay? It's exactly what you'd expect from James Charles. It's what he's been singing for 10 years, okay? It's probably auto-tuned for filth, just like that picture that got him famous to begin with, all right? Who's going to buy it? The James Charles fans that have stayed ignorant about the behaviors of James Charles forever, okay? How is he going to get to the top of the charts? By the people that have continued to support him because they've continued to stay ignorant to the actions of James Charles, which he's probably still behaving in today because he hasn't shown that he's changed. And just a month ago, he was posting pictures asking people to slide into his DMs. Ask me what I think about this song again. I don't give a fuck about this song. But let's see what y'all had to say about this song since I asked you on Twitter. Let's go in here and read the tweets from people, shall we? Okay. So I asked people on Twitter, I said, since people are asking me to respond to James's new song, I wanted to know what you guys think. Okay, I've got 20 comments on it so far. Oh, what is this? Somebody said... Oh, somebody commented, apparently, also I ratioed James on Spill Session's TikTok about this. So apparently, Spill Session made a TikTok about it. Oh, girl, I gotta go look over here about this, okay? And he responded and said, hope you like it, Spilly. Oh, did she respond to this on TikTok? Girl, of course she did. But she always calls him out, right? Okay. Hold on just a second. I'm gonna have to look at this, and I'll be right back. Okay, so she did this TikTok about it, and it was a day ago before he had posted anything on his social media. She speculates in there that the reason why he put the Instagram post out asking people to DM him in LA was because he sang to his group of friends last night. He played the song for them, apparently. She's got, like, the clip of it in her TikTok. I don't think that's the case, to be honest. Anyway, he put on here, hope you like it, Spilly, and somebody said, you like underage boys. What's interesting about it is, she doesn't really take a stance one way or the other. I mean, she does say, you know, that he's obviously wanting people to talk about it, and she's like, and I'm talking about it, so I guess it's working, right? What's interesting to me about it is that, I mean, listen, she had Manny MUA. Manny MUA is one of James Charles' biggest supporters. He's never come out against Manny MUA and whatever. So I don't really understand how you can report on James Charles and how problematic he is and whatever, and have Manny in your videos and not even ask Manny about his support of James Charles. But girl, you do you. You do you. That's beside the point. So anyway, so let's go in here and let's read the rest of the tweets. Let's hope they don't take me down another rabbit hole of where to go. Okay, so but I will say this. Her TikTok was nothing other than just like reporting about the song coming out and that she was really surprised about it. I mean, really, this is what's so interesting. When she was like, I'm so surprised. Like, I'm really like, whatever. I'm not. Is anybody really surprised that James Charles came out with a song? She was like, he was trying to keep it hush-hush and stuff like that. I wasn't surprised that James Charles came out with a song. That doesn't surprise me. I'm actually surprised James Charles hasn't come out with a song sooner, if you want to know the truth. James Charles has been wanting to be a singer for years. Does that surprise me he's come out with a song? No, not at all. Doesn't surprise me at all. Not one bit. Not one bit. I'm more surprised by what happens in the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and it's the most boring season of ever, okay, than James Charles putting out a song. So that's the first one. Somebody said, it's mid, it's something, to be honest. He learned how to carry a tune, that's all. He seems to love things that are mid. I don't know what that means. I'm not a millennial. Can somebody explain that to me? He's not a talented singer. I don't understand why people are hyping it up. I mean, he's not, here's the thing. He's not a bad singer, okay? Like, the song's not horrible, but it's not like, I mean, first of all, if I were going to put out a song for my first song, you better bet your ass it'd be catchy as hell, okay? To get it on everybody's lips, right? And then I would continue to, so that everybody's singing that song and I do some, like, dance to it, that everybody's going to be doing this dance. I wouldn't be putting out some ballad, okay, girl? I mean, he put out a good old 1989 drag queen ballad, girl. Ain't nobody calling me back. I thought I was listening to him do a cover of Oleta Adams. I was like, girl, why is this your first song? Somebody said, didn't even know he put a new song out, but $50 if you sound it in your opening, please. I will not be giving him any listen, so yes, if you want to do a video, I would rather give you the attention, somebody said. Somebody said, it gave kind of creepy vibes, if I'm honest. I didn't recognize it was James when it popped into my Recs at first. After everything he's done, he has a song called Call Me Back. It's giving stalker. That's exactly 100% what I thought. So thank you, somebody else. Somebody said the cringe, just be prepared. It also gave me motion sickness. I think the budget was like $20 and it went into auto-tune. Well, okay, so I don't know about the song, but the video is just the lyrics video. The music video hasn't dropped yet. What do you think the average age will be for that video? Okay. Somebody said, who's James? LOL. I actually thought, who's James? For a good minute until I checked out the replies. Somebody said, listening to it now. I think you should do the Lord's work and listen to it so we don't have to, then give us your honest review. Bro, WTF, it low-key kind of goes hard. Not gonna lie. LMAO, I bet he sings this to all of his minor boyfriends. I don't think it goes hard. I think if I heard it on the radio, I'd listen to like 10 seconds of it, and I'd be like, probably 15 if I thought it was James Charles, and I'd be like, next. You know, that would be like where I would be with it. People are living for it because they're James Charles fans. That's what it is, okay? If you just heard this song on the radio, let's just be real fucking honest about it, okay? If you heard this song on the radio, and I'm not playing it because I'm not getting my video copyright strikes, okay? But if you played this song on the radio and just listened to it, you would go next, okay? I'm being honest. It's not horrible. It's not great. It's just meh, okay? You would just be like, it's whatever, okay? You next to the song. It's nothing that fantastic. People are only listening to it because it's James Charles. Somebody said, I think you should watch Sister Wives. It's coming! The Predator song starts at 0.00. Might be the least self-aware thing I've ever seen. As a mother, I refuse to listen to a child predator. And, who is this person? Somebody put up here this TikTok, the key may not, I don't know what this is, the key may not be minor, but the song's definitely about one. And James Charles posted, how interesting, the video you posted last night about the song was super kind, deleted to replace with a nasty version to try and go viral. Oh, this is a person that's coming out and saying that they're saying he's fake or whatever. Okay. I saw a clip of the live performance, but I'm not streaming the Weirdo's music. And somebody else said, I thought it was fake. Didn't think he would be dumb enough to do this. Dumb enough to do what? I mean, he wrote a song. He made a song. He made a song. It's like Loretta Lynn and Coal Miner's Daughter when she's out there picking potatoes. Your mama done wrote a good song. Your mama done wrote a real good song. I was born to be a coal miner's daughter. In a hill on the side of Wheeler Holler. I don't know the words. We were poor, but we had love. That was the one thing Daddy made sure of. Listen, I may not know how to sing, but I sure do know me some Loretta Lynn, some Tanya Tucker, some Dolly Parton, and some Forever and Ever Patsy Cline. Sweet. Oh no, for James Charles, we'll sing this one. Crazy. Peace. I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.